started playing drums when I was, or playing music when I was really young. Probably was like always a passion of mine. I just like connected to it at a young age, and so then I kind of took that into my teens, and I was in like hardcore bands, and then I joined my first like big band and did that, and that's when Dirk and I used to go when I was really young to see Dirk's old hardcore band playing, and so Dirk and I think I've known Dirk since I was like probably, I don't know, like the years he was in his band, I was in my band, and we ended up, you know, going on tour together and having all these experiences, and so we just like had this relationship, you know, throughout all the years, and we'd always joke around for probably about 5 or 6 years where it was like,
Easily,
hey,
yeah.
we need to start a band, we need to play together sometime and start a band, and it was always like, you know, kind of joking, and at one point we were trading text messages about which the band names, and we came
for
up
our
with
hardcore band.
our hardcore band. There's
The
like
Machete.
the Pink Machete.
Yes, which is a great band name, by the way.
I left my old band and kind of stopped playing music for a while, and then, but it was, you know, I still had like my passion for music. I love music. I listened to it all the time, and so then I couldn't help myself, and I started playing again. And then that's when Dirk started calling me. We started jamming. We wrote like a couple songs, and every song it was like it kept getting better and better. We were like, oh my gosh. And we were on a streak there where it was like Dirk would play a bass line, and pretty much all the songs would kind of start out like Dirk would play a bass line or I'd play a drum beat, and then we kind of like, hey, that's cool, we'd stick with that, and then we'd basically write a whole song around it in one night and record it, and then I'd be at work the next day listening to it over and over again. So we did that for a while, and then we started to kind of like, after like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 months, we were like, hey, you know, eventually we need to get a singer, and so I was kind of like, you know, we were thinking about who we could ask, and we brainstormed, and we tried out a couple people, and you know, it just kind of was like, you know, nothing. We weren't in a rush to do anything. It was just kind of like, hey, we have all the time in the world to find the right person. And so then Dirk, I guess, had a relationship with Andy. You know, hey, this guy's super cool, and you know, I could, like, he's the most amazing singer songwriter guy. Like, just has a very cool vibe, and he just like talked him up, and I was like, oh, yeah, I want to check. So we were hanging out, and we were looking at on the internet, and we saw Andy. We had been looking at Andy's MySpace page, and I remember just like being like kind of caught off guard because I was really, really impressed with just, I mean, who he was as a performer, and you know, looking at the videos and then listening to the music. I mean, I was really, really impressed with his, you know, talent and his, you know, the way he could sing and everything. And I remember thinking like, you know, that guy's gonna jam with us, like, yeah, oh, all right, whatever. You know, Dirk sent Andy the songs and kind of sparked some interest with Andy, and then he went on tour. He was gone for a little while, and so we were kind of like, well, you know. And Dirk, you know, one day he's like, hey, you gotta, Alex, check your email. You gotta check your email, dude. And so I checked my email, and there it was. Like, Andy had done the first progress from there, and every song after that just kept getting better and better. And so he sang vocals over our 5 songs, and you know, yeah, we're now hanging out, and this whole thing's kind of coming together, and